He was once the king of the football world, a magician on the field, with a smile that hypnotized millions. But have you ever stopped to wonder what happens after the final whistle blows, after the stadium lights go dark and the cheering fades into silence? Ronaldinho Gaúcho, a name that echoes through the history of football like a legend lost in time. Two-time FIFA World Player of the Year, a world champion, and the heart of the beautiful game. He dazzled the planet with his footwork, lived the dream most can only imagine, and earned a fortune along the way. But where is he now? In this video, we peel back the curtain on the extravagant life of one of Brazil's greatest icons. From the humble streets of Porto Alegre to secret luxury mansions, VIP parties, international fame, and moments you've never seen before. What is Ronaldinho hiding behind the fame? What does life look like when you've already conquered the world? Stay with us, because what you're about to discover will change the way you see this football legend forever. Behind the smile that once captivated the world and the unforgettable plays that echoed through stadiums, there lies a life few truly know. Ronaldinho Gaúcho, legend, icon, artist of the ball, built not only a legendary football career, but a lifestyle that today resembles a scene from a billionaire's dream. Yet, like any story of greatness, his is filled with contrasts, extravagance, and shadows. Let's start with one of his most talked-about homes, a 297-square-meter residence that feels more like a private museum than a house. Inside, the walls are decorated not only with expensive art, but with relics of a glorious past, trophies, awards, jerseys, and golden memories scattered like treasures across each room. From a formal dining space where elite guests once gathered, to a state-of-the-art gourmet kitchen filled with stainless steel appliances, every corner breathes opulence. A family lounge with a massive TV, 6 luxurious bathrooms, and 5 warm, stylish bedrooms, one of which hides a walk-in closet the size of a small apartment, complete this architectural gem. Step outside, and the extravagance only grows. There's an elegant outdoor dining area for long summer nights, a rustic treehouse that looks straight out of a fairy tale, and a massive swimming pool equipped with a jacuzzi and sun lounges worthy of a high-end resort. During the 2014 World Cup, Ronaldinho put this mansion up for rent for a jaw-dropping $77,000 a night. Yes, per night. And that's not the only property under his name. In his hometown of Porto Alegre, in southern Brazil, he owns another mansion, this one built inside an exclusive gated community. With not one but 2 private football pitches, it's a paradise tailor-made for the king of the sport. While the total cost of the mansion remains undisclosed, what is known is that Ronaldinho poured so much into renovations and custom work that he ended up accumulating a debt of more than 12.1 million reais. As a result, authorities reportedly froze 56 properties connected to his name. Then there's the palatial 1,590-square-meter mansion in Barra da Tijuca, Rio de Janeiro, valued at an astonishing $50.3 million. A residence fit for royalty, yet just another chapter in Ronaldinho's story of larger-than-life living. But what would a football superstar be without an equally flashy garage? Ronaldinho is no stranger to luxury vehicles. His collection reads like a fantasy list for any car enthusiast, from the rugged elegance of a Chevrolet Tahoe to the fierce power of a Lamborghini Aventador. He's been seen behind the wheel of some of the most expensive cars on earth. His garage has featured a BMW X5, Cadillac Escalade, Porsche 911 Carrera S, an Aston Martin Rapide, a Ferrari 458 Italia, and not just one, but 3 Ferraris in total, including the 488 GTB and 488 Spider, each worth well over $1 million reais. He even posed next to a Rolls-Royce Cullinan, priced at nearly $2 million, and let's not forget the legendary Bugatti Veyron, one of the fastest cars in the world, valued at up to $9.9 million. And then there's the crown jewel of his collection, the Pagani Zonda, fully customized. This beast of a car can go from 0 to 100 km/h in just 2.8 seconds and hits a top speed of 349 km/h. A true engineering marvel priced at over $10 million. But behind the glittering lifestyle, not everything is celebration and champagne. Ronaldinho's name has often found its way into headlines, not only for his talent, but for controversy. As early as his days at Grêmio, he faced legal issues, caught using a fake driver's license, his first brush with scandal. Years later, in 2011, after his dramatic exit from Flamengo, Ronaldinho became entangled in a city council investigation in Porto Alegre connected to the Ronaldinho Institute's public funding. His story is complex, thrilling, and at times shocking. It's a life lived at full speed, on and off the field. But as we peel back the layers, what we discover is more than just fame and fortune. It's a portrait of a man who, even in his silence, continues to fascinate the world. What do you think? Is this the price of greatness, or just the cost of being Ronaldinho? Let us know in the comments below. What part of his journey surprised you the most? Behind the fame, the unforgettable goals, and that ever-charming smile, there's a side of Ronaldinho Gaúcho that many have never seen. A life that goes far beyond the stadiums and the roaring crowds. A life filled with staggering luxury, yes, but also with heavy consequences and unexpected turns that few could imagine for someone once considered the face of joy in football. Years after dazzling the world with his football magic, Ronaldinho found himself in the center of a political storm. A government investigation into his philanthropic project ended unfavorably, accusing the former player of serious accounting irregularities. But that was just the beginning of a troubling chapter. In 2015, both Ronaldinho and his brother Assis were found guilty of causing environmental damage to the Guaíba River, a violation tied to unauthorized construction on protected land. That ruling resulted in the seizure of their passports in 2018, and to the world's shock, a court disclosure revealed something unthinkable. Ronaldinho had only 24 reais left in his bank account. The image of one of football's richest legends brought down to just a few coins made headlines everywhere. But even in the midst of such fallout, Ronaldinho didn't run. Instead, he struck a deal with the public ministry, agreeing to pay the environmental fine and ultimately recovering his right to travel. Still, the storm wasn't over. Around the same time, his name surfaced again, this time in a civil lawsuit worth 300 million reais. The case targeted his company, 18K Ronaldinho, which prosecutors accused of operating as a financial pyramid scheme. Thousands of people reportedly invested their savings in the venture, lured by the promise of incredible profits that in reality never came. In March 2020, another bombshell dropped. Ronaldinho was detained in Paraguay after allegedly entering the country using a fake passport. Once again, he and Assis were arrested. What followed was a surreal twist. The two were placed in preventive detention, and their jail time was later converted to house arrest. On August 24th of that same year, they were released, but freedom didn't mean peace, because just when it seemed the controversies might finally be behind him, new legal trouble emerged. In 2023, according to Brazil's G1 news outlet, the Federal Court of Rio de Janeiro ordered that 2 of Ronaldinho's properties be evaluated for potential seizure due to debts with the Federal Tax Authority. These debts were said to total around 9 million reais. Yet despite all of this, Ronaldinho's love for luxury has never dimmed. Even while his financial affairs were under scrutiny, he continued to live like a global superstar. One of his favorite pastimes? Jet-setting across the globe, always choosing the most lavish places to stay. He's known to have stayed at the Five Palm Jumeirah in Dubai, one of the region's most elite destinations, where the most exclusive suites can cost more than $181,000 a night. Another favorite was the Nikki Beach Resort, a beachfront paradise with ultra-modern design and suites that can go beyond $32,900 per night, depending on the time of year. And of course, no true luxury experience would be complete without private jets, Ronaldinho's preferred mode of transportation. Whether crossing continents or hopping from city to city, he spares no expense on comfort and exclusivity. These flights can easily cost tens of thousands of reais per trip, especially when opting for top-tier aircraft. But Ronaldinho's taste for the good life doesn't stop in the skies. He also has a deep love for yachting, spending time out at sea, surrounded by stunning views, fine drinks, and luxury. And that pleasure comes with its own hefty price tag, with many of the yachts he boards costing tens, sometimes hundreds of thousands of reais to charter. When it comes to style, he doesn't hold back either. You won't catch him in just any watch. His wrists are reserved for timepieces that are more like jewels than accessories. Among his collection are pieces like the Jacob & Co. 5 Time Zone, worth $76,000, a Cartier Santos 100 XL, $77,600, and several jaw-dropping watches from Audemar's Piguet, including one in 18K rose gold valued at $269,000, and another, the Diamond Extra Thin, priced at $829,000. And then there's the showstopper, a Rolex Rainbow Cosmograph Daytona, studded with nearly 100 precious stones, including 36 sapphires arranged in a perfect rainbow gradient and 56 brilliant cut diamonds. This single watch alone is worth more than many people's homes. Ronaldinho Gaúcho, for better or worse, lives life to the fullest. He's not just a retired athlete, he's a walking paradox. A man capable of bringing smiles to millions, yet often caught in the middle of controversy. A symbol of joy and celebration, who behind the scenes wrestles with complex legal battles and financial chaos. And now we ask you, is Ronaldinho simply a victim of fame and mismanagement, or is he a cautionary tale about what happens when luxury, legacy, and law collide? Let us know what you think in the comments. Which part of this story shocked you the most? What happens when one of the greatest footballers of all time steps off the pitch and into the world? For Ronaldinho Gaúcho, life after football hasn't just been about resting on his legacy. It's been about building a new one, made of luxury, business, controversy, and charisma. He might not wear a jersey anymore, but his name still moves millions. Let's start with a simple object, or rather, something that looks simple at first glance, a watch. But this isn't just any timepiece. It's a one-of-a-kind model, encrusted with rare stones and precision-engineered details. To own it, you'd have to pay around $2.7 million, a price that seems insane to most, but to Ronaldinho, it's just another symbol of a life lived to the fullest, because if there's one thing he knows well, it's how to enjoy his money. And his fortune didn't stop growing after football. Quite the opposite. Ronaldinho became more than a player. He became a brand. One of his most recent ventures is an international business called Açaí by Ronaldinho, a company set to bring Brazil's famous superfruit to the US market. And that's just a taste of his entrepreneurial appetite. He's also stepped into the wine industry, launching his own label in collaboration with renowned vineyards. It's a far cry from football, but Ronaldinho's charm has proven powerful in any field. But perhaps one of his most surprising moves has been in the world of music. Ronaldinho owns his own record label, Tropa do Bruxo, which has already produced several music videos on YouTube, gaining hundreds of thousands of views and earning him over 500,000 subscribers on his channel. He may not be singing, but his influence shapes every beat and rhythm his brand puts out. And then there's technology, an industry where Ronaldinho seems to feel right at home. He's part of a group that invests in startups all around the world, with his portfolio growing steadily behind the scenes. He even entered the world of NFTs, releasing a collection of digital assets featuring his own likeness, and later creating his own cryptocurrency. A move that shows how he's always trying to stay ahead of the curve. Still, above all, the biggest slice of his post-football income comes from one undeniable fact. Ronaldinho is a global icon. He doesn't need to play anymore to be valuable. Brands from every corner of the world want to be associated with his name. At one point, he had a sponsorship deal with Coca-Cola worth a staggering $3.8 million per year. A contract that was cut short after he was caught publicly drinking Pepsi, an infamous moment in advertising history. Even now, with football long behind him, his social media presence alone is a gold mine. On Instagram, where he has over 70 million followers, Ronaldinho regularly promotes major brands, and the cost of a single sponsored post, estimates say it could be worth $1.2 million per post. So yes, he's still making money, a lot of it. But to understand the scale of his wealth, we need to look back at his days on the field. In the early stages of his career, back when he played for Grêmio in Brazil, he was already earning around $5.1 million a year. By the time he transferred to Paris Saint-Germain, that number nearly doubled to $10.3 million annually. But the real leap came with Barcelona. During his golden era with Barca, Ronaldinho wasn't just winning Ballon d'Or, he was also becoming the highest-paid footballer in the world. At the peak of his time there, he reportedly earned $51.8 million per season. Add endorsements and sponsorships on top of that, and you get an even more staggering figure. In fact, according to Forbes, in 2006 alone, Ronaldinho made approximately $74.7 million, and yet, as unbelievable as that is, it's still less than what players of his level make today. Why? Because football has become an even bigger, more global business in recent years. That raises an intriguing thought. What if Ronaldinho played today? How much would he be worth in the era of mega contracts and streaming deals? No one knows exactly how much his fortune is today, especially considering his ongoing legal battles and tax debts. But some sources estimate that across his entire career, Ronaldinho has earned and accumulated a net worth of around $518.5 million. An amount more than enough for anyone to live in luxury for several lifetimes, although that number may have dropped in recent years due to financial and legal issues. Still, even through the controversies, the missteps, the headlines, Ronaldinho remains Ronaldinho, a man who defined a generation, a name that still makes people smile, and a life story that continues to unfold, one luxurious, unpredictable chapter at a time. So after all this, what do you think? Is Ronaldinho a genius off the field, or someone who got lost in the world beyond football? Was he ahead of his time, or is his story a cautionary tale of fortune, fame, and fallout? Tell us your opinion in the comments below, and if you made it this far, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and tell us what story you'd like to see next, because here, your curiosity becomes content. This is Sabe Tudo, where stories come to life.